everyone coming out. I'm sorry that I'm introducing myself late for those who weren't in my group here, the center circle, we'll call it. My name is Mary Moraine, and I'm the First Assistant United States Attorney in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston. So what we're going to do is Jennifer Serkin has some of the questions that we received from folks on the cards during those community chat sessions. She'll read me a question, and hopefully I'll be able to answer it, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mary. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
No?
Hold it up tight, closer.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. We did see a lot of similar questions, so I may not ask the exact question, but I think the sentiment is similar. So first question, will the change of DOJ leadership impact the future possibility of negotiating with the city?
So the team that has done this investigation are all career employees of the department, as am I. And our view of the case is the same whether it was September or November or December, and pick your year. We investigate the facts and look at the evidence and make a decision about the case, and that's how we'll be proceeding in this matter. Our office in particular has done investigations across administrations, and I think some of you know that there was a police pattern of practice investigation, a findings report, and a consent decree, and that investigation was opened during the last Trump administration. So I can't tell you exactly what impact the new administration will have, but we are certainly forging ahead, and that is our intent, and that is what we did in the last Trump administration, what we have done in the Biden administration, what we will do in the next administration, and what we will do with whomever is president after that.
Are there any parts of your investigation that could help lead to criminal charges against individual officers?
So I know this is something that we've seen in the news quite a bit, questions about whether there are criminal charges, whether there will be criminal charges. So I think in the opening remarks you all heard about how this investigation is a civil investigation. It is not a criminal investigation. We are looking at the structures of the police department and the way that they do reporting, the way that they do training, those kinds of things. And as a part of that, we uncovered conduct that we found to be unconstitutional and troubling and put in the report. When we find certain kinds of conduct in the course of a civil investigation, there is a process where we refer information to criminal attorneys, and those are independent from anyone on the team who is doing this civil investigation. And of course, we don't comment on whether there are any investigations happening or not happening, but there is a process where those referrals are made to criminal AUSAs who use investigators to determine what to do from that point forward.
I think we've had a lot of questions about whether the report is a summary report. Is there more coming out? Will there be any more details or evidence given to the city or the police department?
So I don't know how many folks in the room have read the report. Raise your hands. How many? Impressive. Okay. So the report was lengthy. What, 43 pages? Is that right?
43 more copies up here if anyone needs.
So that is the report that we are issuing, and I believe that at the beginning of this session, folks talked to you about what the process is from here. Those are our findings. That is what our public report is going to be. And then there will be discussions with the police department as we hope to move forward and work with them and partner with them and come up with reforms and fixes for problems that we think are solvable. So there is not a further report that we intend to issue. It could be that there will be litigation down the line, and if that's the case, then there will be further information through that process that would become public, but this report is what the public report will be.
question about who institutes the reforms.
Well, the police department will institute the reforms. And the process can vary depending on how the parties get to a resolution on the issues. It can be that there is a consent decree in a case and a monitor who is appointed, and that monitor would work very closely with the police department and the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Civil Rights Division in D.C. to go over all the components of the agreement, which will set out exactly what those reforms would be, what those changes in policy are going to be, what those trainings are going to be. All of that information would be captured in the agreement, and the monitor would play a very important role in making sure that the police department is meeting its particular milestones along the way. It could be that there would be a different kind of agreement that may not have a formal monitor, but there would certainly be oversight and cooperation and many meetings and communication between the Department of Justice and the police department. And I'm going to ask Jennifer or the team if I've missed any important thing on that question.
Okay, last question. What will happen to these suggestions? I think that means the suggestions that were raised here today. How will they be followed up on or implemented?
So first of all, I just do want to say again how grateful we are to have such a turnout at this event. We were trying to guess it in the office today, and you exceeded all of our expectations with the numbers that are here today. I think it says a lot that so many folks are invested in their community and want to come out and be a part of positive change and share their ideas with all of us. And we really appreciate your time and your opinions and your insights in that. And a lot of the things I can tell you that I heard in the circle that I was involved in are things that we certainly think about as we try to negotiate with police departments in thinking about what kinds of reforms, what sorts of changes are going to make sense. And so these will be compiled, we will put them together, and they are certainly something that the team is going to be looking at and thinking about, and can say to the police department as a part of those negotiations and to the city, here is what your community wants, here is what the community's voices are saying, and here is what is important to them.
We certainly, as Mary said, thank you all for coming and hope that this is the first of many conversations. We're going to be here for just a little bit, so if there's anyone who wants to give us some information about folks we should meet with, groups we should meet with, we're happy to take that information from you.
Can I ask a question real quick? What is the window that we're going to have to be able to provide you with information? Because this was a great start, but I know there's a lot of people in this room that would like to get listening sessions going across the city so that we can actually get you more and better information.
I'm going to let you take that.
Yeah, we definitely plan to be out here as much as we can. Oh, sorry. The question is, how can we continue to have a dialogue? This was a good start, but how can we build on this and have more listening sessions across the city so that we can reach as many people as possible and hear from as many community members as possible? And that's where we're gonna kind of turn it back to you. You tell us, who wants to meet with us? Where do they want to meet? We will go to church basements. We will come out, day, night, weekend, if that's what's easiest for all of you. So please, we can give you our information, contact us and let us know who wants to speak with us because we want to listen. We have a sticky for those who can't see it. The email address is community.wpd@usdoj.gov. Sure, yeah, it's community.wpd@usdoj.gov.
I'm going to put it by the door on the way out.
Yep. Yes, one more thing before I get to you. We have sign-in sheets in the where you came in. Obviously, it's voluntary, but if you put your name reach out to you easier. Yes?
So all of these suggestions, is there some way on the website that you guys have that we can track this process? Because I would like to have heard everybody's suggestions, and I would like to know if the suggestions were brought to these meetings with Worcester PD. So that's one way of transparency that we have to know that you guys are working with us for us.
One of the ways that we want to stay in touch and be in communication with you all is through our email listserv. So that is what the sign-in sheets are for. We'll have to think through sort of the mechanics of information sharing, what was shared today, because there's such great, rich conversation, and I'm not sure exactly how to practically do that, but the sign-in sheet's important because that is how we will stay in touch with you and how we will organize meetings and keep this dialogue going. Because I do think this was probably the first of many meetings we'll have.
Hi, I did want to reiterate that point and make sure we can't overstate the importance of this amazing group of suggestions. And in the spirit of accountability, it would be very, very helpful to have some sort of website where these suggestions were posted so that we can continue the dialogue. I know that was also said, but we can't afford not to have them all gathered.
One other thing that I would add is I would recommend that you turn to those final pages of the report, because that is where the recommended reforms are listed. And I think that you may see that you all and me are kind of thinking about some of the very same things. So I would definitely recommend that you take a look at those. I think we're out of time, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to take further questions with the group. We'll be here for a few questions afterwards if you want to come up. Again, thank you so much for your time this evening, and thanks again.
This one is, but I'm about to end it.